The Icelandic city of Reykjavik is the capital of Iceland and is the northernmost capital in the world. According to Iceland's Book of Settlements, Reykjavik was founded in 1874 AD by Ingólfur Arnason and was the first permanent settlement of Iceland. Reykjavik was just a collection of farms scattered throughout the area until gaining its town rights in the late 18th century. At the turn of the 20th century, Reykjavik had a population of around 6,000. Reykjavik was named the capital of Iceland in 1944 when Iceland gained its independence from Denmark. According to the World Population Review, as of 2021, Reykjavik houses around a third of all Iceland's citizens with a population of around 133,000 people. The World Population Review also notes that the Danes, Poles, and Lithuanians are the most common minorities living in Reykjavik, and as of 2009, 8% of Reykjavik's population was made up of foreigners. The economy of Reykjavik is very consistent with the economy of Iceland as a whole, and as Iceland's economy has developed from mostly agricultural and fishing to incorporate industry, so did Reykjavik. In just 100 years, Reykjavik developed from a small fishing town into a blossoming city that houses half of Iceland's industries. The main industries in Reykjavik are tourism, manufacturing, and fishing. According to the World Atlas, Iceland experienced a tourism boom in 2010 following the global economic crisis of 2008. Reykjavik and its surrounding areas are Iceland's top tourist destination, and in 2017, 10% of the country's GDP and 42% of the total export revenue came from tourism. As the northernmost capital city in the world, it is no surprise that the climate of Reykjavik is considered subpolar. According to WeatherSpark, the average temperature in Reykjavik rarely gets below 17 degrees or above 62 degrees. Reykjavik is at the forefront of preventing climate change. According to Reykjavik's climate plan, in 2009, Reykjavik was the first municipality in Iceland to create a plan to reduce greenhouse gas emissions with the creation of the Reykjavik City Municipal Plan for 2010 through 2030. In 2016, the city revised this plan and came up with a more ambitious goal of becoming carbon neutral by 2040. The 2016 Climate Action Plan states that Reykjavik's Climate Action Plan will be updated every 5 years. To help achieve this goal, the City Commission for Environmental and Public Health wanted to increase its societal appeal, so they reached out to the public for suggestions to help improve their plan. Reykjavik's Climate Action Plan has ambitious yet achievable goals that they plan to achieve with the help of the public and private companies, not just the city government. Reykjavik's sustainability plan is both ambitious and environmentally oriented. The city is planning to take drastic steps to reach zero net carbon emissions, reduce waste, encourage walking and biking as the main forms of transportation, and more. All of these initiatives will benefit both the city and its residents. By reducing emissions and working to mitigate the effects of climate change, the city will save money in the long run. This is because they avoid many of the adverse consequences associated with operating unsustainably. The money going into sustainable technology is also a worthwhile investment into the future and will spur economic growth. Additionally, Reykjavik's Climate Action Plan includes various social initiatives that will improve the health and livelihood of its citizens. Many of these initiatives involve increasing the size and availability of green space and connecting citizens to nature, which have many proven positive effects. To begin, this plan places a strong emphasis on the social pillar. One of the main ideas in the Climate Action Plan is that of a walkable city, meaning the city would be made more pedestrian-friendly so that the people could walk places instead of relying on public transportation or cars. Specifically, as stated in the Walkable Cities section of the City of Reykjavik Climate Action Plan for the 2021 through 2025, the access to green areas, outdoor activities, and services will be ensured within a radius of 15 minutes walk or on bicycle. Not only will this make walking safer, but it also makes it more feasible, as citizens will be able to reach a larger number of places within a reasonable distance. Thus, this initiative will cut down on the amount of personal vehicles used, which in turn reduces air and noise pollution. So, citizens will be able to breathe cleaner air and will also have less noise disruptions, which improves their quality of life. It will also decrease traffic, cutting down on noise and traffic jams. Moreover, walking has many physical and mental health benefits. First, exercise is extremely effective in preventing obesity, heart disease, and more illnesses. It is also good for easing anxiety and depression as it releases endorphins and promotes a connection with one's surroundings, which can be very calming. Another initiative meant to benefit the societal pillar is the idea of implementing a ban or restriction on motor vehicles on gray days, which are when the air quality index shows that pollution levels are above what is accepted for human health. This initiative is laid out in the Health Promoting Transport section of the Climate Action Plan. Air pollution can lead to many health conditions like asthma, organ damage, and lung cancer. So, any reduction in air pollution levels would improve upon the social pillar. Coupled with other initiatives like a walkable city, this would be extremely effective in improving the air quality, thereby improving the public health and well-being. One of the biggest economic initiatives proposed in this plan is that of circular thinking, which is about using resources more efficiently in reducing the creation of waste, as well as changing production and consumption, resulting in a less environmental impact, according to the main objective section of this 2021 Climate Action Plan. Essentially, the main goal is to reduce unnecessary consumption and make it necessary consumption more environmentally friendly. This opens the door for more sustainable consumption, including thrift and secondhand stores, which diversifies the economy. Additionally, the plan includes many specific restrictions and policies to reduce waste, carbon emissions, and more. Although these actions cost money to implement, many of them invest into sustainable industry or put money into the local economy, which spurs economic growth. Specifically, one of the ideas mentioned in the Principal Aims Circular Thinking section is the Zero Waste Policy 2025, which aims to reduce greenhouse gas emissions from mixed waste. Managing waste can be a large economic burden, especially coming from the unnecessary consumption. In fact, according to a 2012 article by the World Bank, the projected rise in the amount of waste from 1.3 billion tons per day to 2.2 billion tons per day by 2025 is projected to raise the annual global cost from $205 billion to $375 billion. So, implementing the zero waste policy will help the city save money and cut down on those costs. Overall, the city of Reykjavik has proven that they are committed to operating sustainably and that its social and economic well-being are two main priorities. Its focus on creating a more walkable city will help improve the physical and mental health of its citizens. Moreover, lowering the greenhouse gas emissions and cutting down on waste will help the city to save money, as they will not have to deal with the severe effects of those two issues later on. Last winter, residents of Reykjavik had the least snowy season in the past 100 years. Changes in weather and all kinds of weather extremes are noticeable around the world, with Iceland being no exception to this change. It is undeniable that the Earth is warming. The city of Reykjavik might have a smaller population and considerably lower emissions when compared to many other major cities, but still feel a duty and responsibility to support the objective of the Paris Agreement. Given this, the goal has been set to reach net carbon neutrality by the year 2040. To reach this goal, Reykjavik took input from its citizens on the steps they believed would be most beneficial to reduce the city's impact and implemented a 15-step plan focusing on various aspects that can be improved around the city to make it more sustainable and environmentally friendly. This plan has 6 overarching tenets, including Reykjavik being a walkable city, having energy exchange everywhere, having health-enhancing commutes, circular thinking, eco-friendly structures, and finally, carbon sequestration. In terms of making this a walkable city, Reykjavik will implement a 15-minute district where the city's districts will become more pedestrian-friendly and access to green areas will be ensured within a radius of 15-minute walk or bike ride. This also encompasses green city development, where the city's future development will be within the defined growth limit, and as well as this, 80% of housing development will be located within convenient distance from the city's newly implemented bus rapid transport program, Borgarlínan. The next tenet addressed was energy exchange. This plan is to focus and capitalize on energy exchange everywhere. This allows for the energy exchange infrastructure to be implemented in all aspects of the city, from electric vehicles with convenient access to charging stations, to the general public transport systems, ports, and at sea. The next step of this plan was to promote health-enhancing commutes. This consists of first converting Reykjavik into a world-class cycling city by promoting cycling all around the city and making it safer and more convenient to do so. This also consists of the city line transportation system, which improves public transport and compaction of the city, making it easier to access public transportation and reducing the need for personal vehicle use. This plan estimates that by 2030, completing each of the previous three tenets should reduce approximately 170,000 tons of CO2. The next important facet of this plan was overall circular thinking. This consists of a zero waste initiative as well as a green food policy. Both of these are comprehensive plans to support sustainability at a citywide level and mitigate the direct impact on the environment by both pollution created as a byproduct of industry and to reduce the overall food waste. By implementing both of these steps, the city estimates that 54,000 tons of CO2 can be saved by 2030. From a construction standpoint, a focus on improvement of industry and cooperation between businesses and industry will be implemented to ensure that construction is done in a viable and eco-friendly way. Carbon sequestration is also an important part of their plan, with companies such as OR and CarbFix using their own know-how and solutions to remove carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and turn it into stone. Other greenhouse gases may be included in this plan if it is deemed possible. There are also plans to reclaim wetlands and create climate forests in the city to add green space, aid the city, and promote environmentally friendly living in the community. These two steps are predicted to reduce CO2 output by 67,000 tons. Finally, supporting actions are outlined in which the city plans to go completely fossil fuel free by 2025, making various adaptations to promote renovation of water systems, control flooding, and bring business and industry together to create solutions. All in all, there will be a net carbon dioxide reduction of about 290,000 tons, drastically reducing the effect this would have on the environment. Each of these steps the city plans to take have significant climate implications and, if followed correctly, will lead to Reykjavik becoming carbon neutral in the future and setting itself as a better world leader from a sustainability standpoint. The city of Reykjavik has a powerful and constructive sustainability plan. However, there's always room for improvement. As it pertains to Reykjavik, one thing that stands out as missing in their sustainability plan is a focus on clean and sustainable water. Their zero waste initiative covers the recycling and recirculation of waste. However, I believe that there needs to be a stronger emphasis on the specifically sustainable water within the city. Water sustainability can mean many different things. For this instance, according to an article by Aquatech, which is a water technology company, it is defined as ensuring that there is enough water to meet multiple needs, from agriculture to municipal and industrial, as well as maintaining that consistent supply. It can also have to deal with energy neutrality by coupling traditional water treatment technologies with renewable energies. Looking at sustainable water from an energy neutrality perspective, this could line up just fine with Reykjavik's plan. The article explores a few ways of implementing sustainable water, which can vary from using dams and/or groundwater to using complex systems and processes such as reclaimed water systems and desalination. Desalination is a process that removes minerals from salt water. There are many different ways to implement sustainable water into Reykjavik, but I believe that a beneficial one could be using desalination systems. Being a city on the coast, access to salt water is no issue at all, and so if they are able to find an efficient and sustainable way to use desalination, I believe it could be a strong benefit to the already proactive sustainability plan for Reykjavik.